Quick question. Do you want to make more money selling the same number of homes? If the answer is yes, I'm going to show you step by step exactly how to do that right now, how to access bigger price points and better neighborhoods. And no, this is not clickbait. I'm not going to ask you for your email address. I'm not going to ask you to buy a course. This is simply just a free training to help you make more money selling the same number of homes because I built my business what I would call the hard way, and you might be doing it too. So, truthfully, when I built my business, I would do volume at lower price points because I just didn't have the confidence in myself to sell at higher price points. I didn't really know anybody that owned $1 million home ever in my life. And so I just never felt like I was worthy of selling higher price point homes. And I felt like I needed to build my business in a way where I just sold more homes so that I could make the same amount of money as these listing agents, right? So your business might look the same way, where right now you're selling 20 $500,000 homes to get to $10 million in sales volume. But then when I started to meet these listing agents and these luxury agents, truthfully, I'm like, their process isn't as good as mine. They don't take as much care of their clients. They don't even care about these deals as much as I would. And so I built the process that I'm going to show you now. And this is what helped me get my business on easier mode, where I could just sell half the number of homes at twice the price point for the exact same amount of sales volume. And so if you want to do that, this is how you make more money. Because I said at the beginning, how do we make more money selling the same number of homes? And you're like, but the sales volume is the same. But here is where things change. Your actual workload goes down by half when you sell more expensive homes and you do half of the work. So you have half of the showings, half of the staging consultations, half of the leads that you need to convert, half of the negotiations and the friggin' phone calls and the emails and all the things that go into selling real estate gets cut by half when you go into and you double your price point. Now, obviously, if you still sell 20 homes, you're going to make twice as much money. But some people just don't want to do that. They're like, listen, I'm already completely capped out. I can't take on any more deals. I'm burnt out. I love this business when I was doing X number of deals. And this is a way that you can build a business that you love. And I'm going to show you how to do this because right now it is easier to grow a business at a higher price point. That is true. But what is also true at the same time is it is much harder to land your first few clients if you've never done it before. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. And what we're going to do is we're going to steal a strategy from our good friends, real estate investors, and it's called OPM. And I kind of learned this because I did a lot of real estate investing as well when I was in my younger years, right? And so one of these strategies, or this particular strategy, is called other people's money. And you're probably like, I don't want to borrow money to scale my business, Emma, and that's totally fine because neither do I. And so I'm going to show you how we do it for free, but I need to tell you how the strategy works so that this makes sense to you. So OPM in real estate investing is using other people's money, and there's usually two partners, right? There's an active partner and there's a passive partner. So the active partner is going to be the person who's responsible for finding the deals, managing the paperwork, doing the renovations and repairs, running the day-to-day operations of the investment. And the passive partner brings the capital. They usually stay hands off, and then both partners share in the profits. Okay, that's how it works in the real estate investing world, and that's how small real estate investors usually go from like 1 or 2 properties to maybe like 10 or 15 properties. It isn't by scaling their income by 10 to 15 times. It's by finding the right partners and leveraging other people's money. So you're like, okay, awesome. How do we do that in real estate? Well, this is how we do it for free, and I call it OPL, so other people's listing. And so this is the overarching structure, and then I'm going to give you guys the step-by-step guide on the framework of exactly how to execute on this, all right? So there's going to be 2 people that are going to be a part of this. You as the active agent and the listing agent who already has a listing that you would love to market. So what you're going to do is you're going to run the ads, you're going to host the open houses for them, you're going to create the flyers and the content, and most importantly, you're going to collect all of the data and all of the results, and you're going to share it with the listing agent, okay? The listing agent is going to provide you access to market the listing. You're not going to be on the listing. You're not making commissions off of this listing. You're using it as a storefront so that you can collect social proof and enter this market later, which I'm going to show you in a second. So they're going to provide you access to the listing. They're going to gain extra exposure for their listing, so hopefully they can sell more quickly, or they can just look better to the seller. And ultimately for them, by allowing you access to market their listings, it's going to open future doors for future listings for them in that particular neighborhood. Okay. And this is how you go from selling smaller, less expensive homes to more expensive homes or in better neighborhoods where you would like to work. Okay. So here's the framework. The first thing you're going to do is identify the listings that you would like to market. Like, what are your dream listings that you would love to have that are on the market right now? Two is you're going to ask the agent if you can market them. I'm going to show you how to do all of these things. I'll give you the script and everything. So step three is after you get the approval to market it, you have to go and actually do the work. Step four is that you're going to accumulate all of the proof and you're going to give that to the listing agent. And number five is you're going to leverage that proof so that you can convert more of your listing appointments right now and enter into this marketplace. Okay. So let's walk through exactly how we're going to do it step by step. Step one is that we need to identify the listing. So you're like, okay, well, how do I find these agents to ask? You're going to open up your MLS and you're going to search for the neighborhoods that you would love to have listings in. If there's not a particular neighborhood, you can search the price point that you would love to be working in. If there's not a particular price point, you might search style of home. So for me, just to give you an example, I worked a lot of condos and those were more of an entry-level price point in my market. And I wanted to go from condos to detached homes. And that was the style of home that I really wanted to sell. I was much more interested. They were more architecturally significant and more beautiful and things of that nature, higher design. There was more opportunity for forced depreciation to help people make money and things of that nature. So I wanted to switch styles of homes. And then the other thing too, this is just like a side benefit or secret hack, is search what has also sold recently. And if you see a listing agent that has sold something recently and still has something on the market and that is of interest, I would go after that person first because they're probably like a listing king or queen in that neighborhood. Meaning if you want to enter that neighborhood, they may have future listings if you do a good job on this first one for you to also help market. So that's just a secret hack of how to increase the longevity of the strategy. And what you're going to do is after you go and search this, I want you to save 3 to 5 that you would call your dream listings. Like the houses that are on the market when you look through, you're like, damn, I wish I was a listing agent on this. And you need to save 3 to 5 because not every listing agent is going to agree to allowing you to market it, okay? Most are reasonable, and when you give them a good pitch, they will, but you need to save 3 to 5 because usually that's where I find the sweet spot of me getting a yes. Okay. And so after we identify them and we save our 3 to 5 dream listings, we need to DM or email the listing agent and to ask them for authorization to market their listings. Now, if you're old school like me, I will pick up the phone and actually call them because very few people pick up the phone and call. So just call and ask and be able to explain myself. But if you're not comfortable doing it, you can DM or email. If you do want the script, just DM me the word script here. I'll send it to you for free. I don't need your email or anything like that. Once you send me the word below, my ManyChat will just kick in. It'll send you both the DM script and the email script. So what you're going to do is you're going to message them and you're going to offer to market their property at no cost. Okay. They're like, great, but people have done this before. Where this gets amazing and how this actually helps you in the future is that you need to promise to share all of the campaign data. All right. And I'm going to show and share with you why social proof and the collection of the data is important in a second. But you're going to promise that you're going to share all the stuff to make them look like a rock star. So you need to frame it as a win for the seller. The home gets more exposure, etc. You make them look like a rock star, and then they get more exposure. They get more proof for their listings in the future as well. Again, if you want the script, just DM me the word script. I'll send it to you for free. No email. Step 3. Now we have the authorization from one of the 3 to 5 people that we can market their listing, and now we got to market. So you're like, all right, so what do I do? How do I actually market this listing? There's a couple different things to do. So one, you can run targeted ads. We usually do meta ads, so Facebook and Instagram ads to generate buyer leads, right? Or nosy neighbor leads. But we want to run ads because collecting the social proof and the data off the ads is very easy to do, which we'll talk about in step 4. You want to host an open house and not some like BS open house where you go out 10 minutes before, toss out some signs and go, oh, no one showed up. You want to make a proper open house launch plan so that you can increase traffic, because guess what? The people who come through an open house are usually in-market buyers or nosy neighbors. So if you want the opportunity to audition for a higher price point, actually paying attention and doing a proper open house is the best way to access a new price point. An example of that is we had a client that just did this. She's been in real estate for less than 2 years. This year she did $300,000 in commission off of 8 freaking properties hosting open houses. She never even ran targeted ads. She just did open houses. So if there's anything that I can say to you to like sell you on how can you get into a $1.5 million or $2 million price point, do really good open houses. Make yourself look like an expert. Make yourself look like someone who hosts those open houses all the time because you're auditioning for in-market people. All right. The third thing is dropping a high converting neighborhood mailer. And then, of course, posting stories and posting content all along the way of everything that you're doing to market this home so that you can save it on your camera roll and use it for later, for social proof for later. And so the goal is obviously to generate, I said buyer leads here, but buyer and in-market sellers. Obviously, that's the goal so that we can make the same amount of money selling less homes. That's the goal. But the thing that people don't usually tell you is like the proof is important. And the reason why I said it's harder to land your first few clients at the beginning is because you don't have the proof. And so you're going solely on relationship, you're going solely on the rapport that you're building, and you're hoping that someone is going to take a chance on you. Where the people who already have the listings, like I said, where you can see what sold and they go, I sold this one around the corner, I sold this one, I sold this one. It's much easier for a seller to be like, well, you already have the proof, you've done it. I can trust that you're going to be able to do it for me. So more than even this on your first one, more than just generating the leads and actually getting a deal on your first one, the most important thing is actually the proof. Okay. Step 4 is now we have to deliver the proof, and we're delivering the proof to the actual listing agent. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually share the ad results. So how many people saw the ad? How many people clicked on the ad? How many people actually signed up? You're going to give them examples of what the flyer looked like. How many people came in the open house? What was the feedback from the open house? And you're going to send them a recap of everything that you have done to get more exposure for their listing to make them look like a rock star. And by the way, if you want like super bonus points right now so that you can continue to work with this listing king or queen in the neighborhood going forward, just write the email for them. Write the email as though their clients were your clients and send the email to them and say, hey, and if they can just copy and paste your email and send it to their clients, you've just saved them so much time and made them look like a rock star. If you don't think that they're going to call you back to help you, you're crazy. They're going to love you for that. All right. So make them look like a hero for their seller. And one of the things that I see people do is they're like, well, I paid for the ads and I did all this stuff and I'm not getting. No, this is a fair trade. Just like OPM, it's a fair trade. You're the active partner and they're giving you access to market in a neighborhood or price point that you have never done before. So this is your opportunity. They're, as much as you're helping them, they're also helping you by giving you the opportunity. So please don't gatekeep the information. This is a two-way street, and I want you to think of it this way. This person giving you this opportunity to even do work for free for them at this point in time still gives you the opportunity to generate in-market people if you do the open house and the ads and you call the leads and stuff on correctly. But once you crack your first few clients, like I said at the beginning, make your business becomes easier because now all of your future business can be at double the price point. So by doing this one, going through this one stint and getting a lot of this social proof, it can change the trajectory of your business forever. So don't think because you spent $300 on ads and you spent your time marketing this one listing and you were on the listing that you're the one who's getting the, short end of the stick, so to speak. They're giving you the opportunity to potentially earn twice as much money on every deal going forward if you can crack into this market. So please understand that this is totally a fair trade. Step number 5 is now how do you leverage the proof? Because what you've done is you've delivered on your promise. You said, hey, let me market your listing and I'll deliver the proof for you and I'll do all these things to get you extra exposure. Great. But now it's time for us to be selfish. Okay. So you're like, how do I leverage the win? Well, now you've done so much work. You've built a relationship. Now is the right time to say, hey, do you have any other listings that are coming up in the neighborhood that I might be able to actually help you market? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take all the proof from step 4 that you've given to the listing agent, and you are going to add that to your listing presentation and to your buyer consultation, whatever your demo package is. Normally people have like a slide deck or a booklet, etc. You need to add that proof into your listing presentation and into your buyer packages for 2 reasons. 1, Your business usually doesn't just change overnight. So if you're working in a $500,000 price point and you want to go to $1 million price point, there's normally still this kind of carry over time where like maybe 70% of your business will be 500K, and then you go to a million, then it goes 50, and then it goes 75, 25 the other way, etc. But once you have all of this social proof and you go into a $500,000 listing appointment and you go, hey, here are the last 3 properties that I actually worked on. This one's $1 million. This is 1.2. This one's 1.5. You know what psychologically happens in the mind of the seller? They start thinking, is our listing even good enough for you? And so if you go into competition with 3 other listing agents and you have all this proof to say that you've marketed in a price point that is twice as expensive, they're going to be like, duh, this person is obviously equipped to help us market our home. Look at what they've just done. And you have a social proof package that you've been able to leverage other people's listings to help you build that authority and that credibility to increase conversions at the lower price point. And then also, because you're generating opportunity by actively marketing in these higher price points, you still have just as much social proof as probably most of the other agents at that luxury price point. And so what you need to do is to collect all of the data, like I said at the beginning. Social proof is the thing that I find that real estate agents have the least of, and it's the thing that helps you convert leads and gain trust, gain authority the quickest. And so even though it wasn't your listing that you did the marketing on, you still did the marketing. It was still all of the work and all of the effort that you put in to generate the leads, to get the impressions, to get the clicks, to host the open house, to send the flyers, to field the calls, to get the information. Even though it wasn't your listing doesn't mean that you didn't do it. You did do it. Okay, so you have the opportunity to share on socials all the stuff that you're doing, all the results that you've got. And this is how you can position yourself as the agent who handles higher price points. And by the way, going back to what I said earlier about my lack of confidence of being able to work into a higher price point, this was the thing that psychologically changed my mind. Because I had so much proof in front of me that like I just did this. I just generated more leads than the listing king or queen in this particular neighborhood. I've just had more conversations than probably any other listing agent in this particular price point or in this particular neighborhood. I know more about this price point or this neighborhood, the pain points, the problems, the desires that the people that trade or the people that are looking to transact in this price point have. And so, yes, it was great for me to have it on my listing presentations for conversions, but most importantly, it gave me the confidence that I knew that I could be the agent to work in this freaking price point. And so not only are you positioning it to the marketplace, you're helping yourself psychologically know that you can be this badass agent that you deserve to be. So this is the framework. You're going to identify your 3 to 5 listings that would be your dream listings. You're going to ask the listing agent for authority to market. Please don't market without them. Again, if you want the script, you can just DM me the word script and I'll send it for free to you. No email required, nothing like that. I just want to help you guys out. Then what you're going to do is once you get the approval, you're going to market the listings. I've shown you how to do that with ads, open houses, etc. You're going to deliver the proof to the listing agent, make them look like a rock star so that you can help market their future listings. And the last thing is leverage the win for you, for your conversions, and psychologically to make sure that you know that you are the badass agent that you are and that you can work in whatever freaking price point you want. All right. So if you want the script, DM me the word script. I'll send it for free. I hope this was helpful and I hope you have an awesome day.